Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are looking at the September love reading for the sign of Cancer. Alright, my lovely Cancers, you're up next. Sign of the Crab. Beautiful water sign. Let's get your romance angel messages out. We've got engagement. Reaching a higher level of commitment. We have finances and career. Let's pull one more. Deception. Oof. All right. So we don't really know what this means until we go into the spread, right? Cross watchers, if you've already seen some of the other videos, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to get right into your 9-card spread here. See what's going on for our lovely Cancer for September 2019 in love. Now this is going to be for anybody who wants to know about the outlook in their love life or on love. You could be in a relationship, you could be calling in a relationship, you could be trying to get out of a toxic relationship. Whatever the case may be, we're going to look at whatever message comes through in this reading. We know not every reading can be for every person who's a Cancer. So if this doesn't resonate with you at all, then of course throw it away and go check out some other readers' videos, right? And you can also check out the other placements of the planets in your natal chart, because this is of course for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, here we go. I'm going to do the 9-card spread. It's beautiful, beautiful spread that has so many beautiful aspects. All right, let's go. We have the Page of Cups. We have 5 of Swords. Been coming out a lot this month. A lot of power struggles this month. 8 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups at the center of the reading, guys. So this is your center energy for this month. Tower. Right on the heels of the Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups comes in like a real powerful energy for you this month. We have Queen of Pentacles. We have 2 of Swords, and there you go. Now you're in the land of indecision. What to do next, and a lot of anxiety. Wow. All right, so this is why I love this spread. Let's look at the bottom. We have 6 of Pentacles. So money is at the heart of a lot of this, right? Finances and career are coming right out at the top, so we can see that already. Let's just move up a little bit so we can see all of the cards nicely. My lovely Cancer, yeah, a lot of this is to do with money. You have a love interest, right? And your abundance level, your level of money that you're making, or perhaps where you're at in your career is causing issue here, right? So let's get right into it. Engagement, finances, and career, and deception. Ace of Cups is up. So somebody's certainly coming forward with a desire for affection and love. All right, somebody wants to make this connection. They're handing you a cup. They want to know how you feel. All right, now Cancer, I think this could be you reaching out. This could be somebody reaching out to you, okay? But it's a very affectionate token of love, right? And it just opens up the gateway. But here we have a 5 of Swords. There is a feeling of cheating energy here, energy that's not quite fair. Somebody's really working either in front of the scenes or behind the scenes against this kind of connection, right? There's a lot of power struggle here. There's someone who's really kind of like, I think you feel like there's someone that you're having to compete with for this affection, and you feel like the competition is very unfair. You feel like you haven't been told everything, right? Could be that it could be that if this is you, I want to say, I feel like this is you, Page of Cups, right? You're trying to, have this engagement, but there's this power struggle in the way. And I think that is really kind of how it starts. It sets the stage, right? It sets the stage for what's going on. You feel like it's quite unfair, I think, for some of you who are going through it. It could be that you feel like it's unfair because the person that you're sort of competing with has an advantage over you of some kind that you think is not, an advantage that you don't have. But in a sense that, because Five of Swords talks about a hollow victory, but we talk about the energy of winning here by nefarious means, by cheating or stabbing people in the back, knocking people down. It's not an even playing field, right? And I think you feel quite hurt by that, and you feel quite, put off by it. So you dive into your work, Eight of Pentacles. You kind of dive into understanding that if you raise your level of abundance and you get your coin up, you increase your professional standing. Eight of Cups talks about restrictions and discipline. When we restrict ourselves and we put boundaries in place for certain types of behavior, it allows us to focus and discipline ourselves to the task at hand. Here we talk about mastering a craft, right? This is a handcrafter. Surely this is a very masterful handcrafter for him to be able to create these pentacles from hands that look almost identical. This attests to the level of mastery here, but that comes from restrictions. It comes from discipline, and then come in as a result of that is when you bring in also an ability for increased wealth and finances. Right, your abundance level kind of evens out a bit more. It's not like you have too much, but you're not struggling anymore either. People start to look out to you for attention. They start to look out to you, give you attention. They start to see you for your good work. Right, as a result of this Eight of Pentacles, you start to get a lot of people calling for your work. They may be wanting to work with you on projects. They may be consigning you to do or contracting you to do a particular piece or to do a particular job, etc. Right? This is just an increase. This is when you begin to manifest in your everyday life everything that you've been putting into your work, right? We talk about three here, mind, body, and soul. We talk about including everything in your career, really attacking your goals. And that's how people begin to take notice of you. They begin to want to come into you and work with you. It's beginning to see the returns of all of the hard work that you have put in. All right. And why do we talk about this in a love reading? Because it seems that Cancer, for a lot of you who are resonating with this reading, it certainly has something to do, your ability to bring in love and keep love and stabilize a love connection in your mind has a lot to do with your ability to build that nest, to have enough finances to take care and to keep up with that kind of, with a relationship, right? And so you are working on your coin, you're working to increase your coin, and in comes the Ace of Cups with the Tower behind it. Now, interestingly enough, it could be that you come across this individual yet again, okay? And you're smitten, right? It may be that before you just had a crush, you just were kind of like, all right, I kind of like you, but now somewhere along the line this month, you're hit with this overwhelming feeling of love. And it could be that you realize you're in love with this person, or it could be that you fall in love with a new person. Whatever the case may be, this is an overwhelming feeling that, oh my God. And I think what's overwhelming about it is that your realization that you are in love, regardless of whom you're in love with. And that realization brings with it a lot of turmoil. It brings a lot of turmoil because I don't think that you can have this love. You either can't have it or it's not manifesting, okay? You feel it, but there's no indication of coming together with anyone. None of these cards indicate a union of any kind or reciprocal love, right? And so it's a realization that you're in love with somebody, but it's a realization that also brings with it quite a bit of heartache because at the moment that you realize you love them, you also realize you really can't have them. Or it's not going to work out for whatever reason. And a tower moment happens for you where you really reevaluate your whole life and, everything that's kind of led up to this point. Why is it that you cannot have this love? And you really go inside and it ends up into a tower moment because you have to reevaluate everything you thought about yourself, I think, or perhaps about your environment, perhaps some of the choices you've made, right? Because the ultimate question is, why am I at a place where the one person or the one thing I truly, truly love, I can't have? Why? What is keeping me from that? And that is the realization. The Queen of Pentacles could be indicating the type of person that you are in love with. So this person, I can tell you, is very independent in their own way. They are extremely nurturing and loving. They're beautiful on the outside. This indicates Queen of Pentacles is the queen of taking care of her body as well as her environment and her wealth and abundance. Pentacles doesn't only relate to money. Pentacles is about the material plane. There's a lot that goes with that. The material plane represents our nutrition, our how we take care of our bodies, how we take care of our environment, how we nurture people physically, of our work, our ability to work, how much we put into our work. So there's a lot to do with that. And the Queen of Pentacles, this person is clearly someone who's very mature, very beautiful, somewhat successful in their own right, I would say. This person certainly has achieved a certain level of abundance and status, but they've achieved it very much on their own. The Queen of Pentacles is also the great motivator. She's the one who will motivate anybody to follow their dreams and to put everything into their work. You can see how she looks at the pentacle almost as if it was a child or her baby. She looks at it very lovingly. This is the epitome of putting love into your work. Queens are associated with water. So here we have water of earth energy. So it's all the emotion that you put in to your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, right? It's the nurturing side that you put in. You nurture these goals by building towards them slowly but surely. And so this is the type of character. Could be an earth sign that you're dealing with, or somebody who represents very strong earth qualities in their chart. And certainly you find yourself in this land of indecision with this Two of Swords and this Nine of Swords. You feel very, very anxious, right, towards the end of the month. This realization, you feel like it's a choice, right? You start to think there's a choice involved here that you have to consider, right? You can't make the choice. You don't understand how to make it. You don't understand what the choice is. You know that something must change, but you don't know what. You get a lot of anxiety, Cancer. I think this is just because it's very emotional for you and it hits you quite hard. This Ace of Cups really comes very hard. I feel like it comes in a way that it's a realization. All right, it's more so that you may have been in love for quite some time, but the realization hits you like a lightning bolt, because it's like if you've been around somebody for maybe months or a year or even a couple years, right? And you never thought you didn't think about them that way, and then suddenly it hits you that you're in love with them. It's almost like all those years of building up to being in love with them and then being in love with them, it all hits you at once, that realization. Do you see what I mean? It's one of those types of awakenings with the Ace of Cups here. And this is why it leads to such a tower moment, because it opens up so many ideas about why it hasn't happened or why it can't happen, how can it happen in the future. And so this leads you into a very initially a very confusing stage with a lot of worries and anxieties. You will come out of it as you go in and you begin to work through this. The most important thing is the tower moment. The tower moment sets off the change. Eventually you will change and evolve and figure some things out about yourself, Cancer, as a result of all of this. But I would say that the beginning stage of this down here is going to cause you certainly a lot of confusion and anxiety. All right? Wow. What can I say, Cancer? I mean, I think you certainly are on the right track. Now, there's a couple things here with deception and finances. You are on the right track in the sense that your finances certainly has something to do with it. I think you will find, and this is another reason why the Eight of Pentacles is over top of the Tower and the Tower is over top of the Nine of Swords, this aspect. Because I think one of the things you're going to realize as part of this Tower moment is that maybe you haven't been putting enough energy into mastering a certain craft like you should have, which would have put you in a better position for this Ace of Cups. It could be that you've kind of slacked on certain things about your career or your ability to be the best at what you do. You know, you may have settled for a little bit less for a while. And so, you know, how far you could have gone with your career has taken a hit. I think one of the things you realize as well is that whoever, if you're in love with this type of individual, then you wouldn't necessarily have to be the type of person who is extremely ambitious and works very hard for everything. Now, this is not to say that you don't work hard for things, Cancer. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying, though, is that it could be that you were happy with your life at a certain level for a very long time, a level that was comfortable for you, which is fine. A level where you had enough, you know, just enough to live and things like that, or you had enough to do everything you wanted, but you didn't have maybe a whole lot, right? But whatever the case may be, it wasn't so much about the money, but you didn't maybe necessarily be as ambitious as you could have been, right, with a particular talent that you had. Almost sometimes we squander talents that we have, right? We just don't nurture them enough, right? And so now, though, when you fall in love with somebody who's really kind of like ambitious, they're at a certain level with regard to how they, let's see if this is going to focus, how they approach life, right? And how they approach their dreams and their goals, right? And it's not so much that it's the status that you lack, but I think that it's the fact that you didn't show the ambition, the desire to be more. The Queen of Pentacles is not so much judgmental about how much money you have, but she's more going to judge you based on how much effort have you really put into the talents that God and the universe have given you to really be the most at something. And so it's the lack of that ambition, which ultimately translates in the lack of a higher career or a more progressed career. And I think all of this is part of what you wake up to with this Tower moment, right? You know, you wake up to that. Maybe before you've never been in love with this caliber of a person or this high-powered level of a person, right? But this person demands someone who is, you know, pushing the envelope on all levels, you know? And these are really hard things that you have to kind of maybe face up to, right? About yourself, you know, that you've come up perhaps a bit short. Now, this could also translate vice versa. If this is not for you, Cancer, this could be the person that you're dealing with, and this could be how you're resonating with them, you know, and how you're affecting them. But I very much read from the sign's perspective. So it's, you know, my readings are very much to be interpreted in the roles that I interpret them, because that's how the reading comes out. And this is absolutely your Tower moment, not somebody else's Tower moment, right? It's not that easy to say you can just take things vice versa. That's kind of a cop-out. You know, if I'm reading for you, I'm reading for you. And this is you going through this, right? And this is your person that has caused you to go through this. It's caused you to feel this way. There's also been a level of deception that I think you feel has been going on. And that happened up here with the Five of Swords. I think, like I said, I think that you feel like you've been at an unfair disadvantage, and that may have been part of your person not being really honest with you. But just take care, because this may be just some of the feelings that you've had, right, that have come out as a result of this of this trying to come towards this person, right? This initial kind of like introduction. I do believe the Ace of Cups is associated with this Page of Cups in the sense that here you were up here trying to make an effort to connect to this person. I don't think at this point you realized how deeply in love you were with them, but you were just, there was just a feeling of attraction at that point. But again, I feel like you may not have been accepted the way you were accepted, and I think this energy here may have also impacted a lot of this Tower energy, this feeling of being at a disadvantage, this feeling that people are playing with your emotions in a way, right? That they're maybe deceiving you about how they really feel, they're not being really honest. And I think that this also plays into how all of this comes about. So just take care with some of these energies if you're feeling that way. All right, I'm going to call it, my lovely Cancer. This is your reading for September 2019 in the area of love. If you resonated with this at all, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Help me grow my channel. All of that ensures that I can keep putting these videos out for you guys. If you want to go deeper into the reading, we're going to go over on Patreon now and pull 9 more Thoth cards to go deeper into the regular spread that we have here and clarify these cards. The clarifying extended readings are always quite interesting because sometimes certain cards will double up in the reading and come out. And it just emphasizes the affirmation even more. But for those of you who are stopping here, thank you so much again for stopping by Bow and Arrow Tarot. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. But for right now, I love you so much, Cancer. I will see you mid-month for the mid-month love check-in. But for now, have a beautiful September. Bye-bye.